100 days into Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the war has brought the world gut-wrenching scenes nearly every day: civilian corpses in the streets of Bucha, a blown-up theater in Mariupol, the chaos at a Kramatorsk train station in the wake of a Russian missile strike. Those images tell just a part of the overall picture of Europe's worst armed conflict in decades. Here's a look at some numbers and statistics that, while in flux and at times uncertain, shed further light on the death, destruction, displacement and economic havoc wrought by the war as it reaches this milestone with no end in sight. Nobody really knows how many combatants or civilians have died, and claims of casualties by government officials, who may sometimes be exaggerating or lowballing their figures for public relations reasons, are all but impossible to verify. Government officials, United Nations agencies and others who carry out the grim task of counting the dead don't always get access to places where people were killed. And Moscow has released scant information about casualties among its forces and allies, and given no accounting of civilian deaths in areas under its control. In some places, such as the long-besieged city of Mariupol, potentially the war's biggest killing field, Russian forces are accused of trying to cover up deaths and dumping bodies into mass graves, clouding the overall toll. With all those caveats, at least tens of thousands of Ukrainian civilians have died so far, President Volodymyr Zelensky said Thursday in comments to Luxembourg's parliament. In Mariupol alone, officials have reported over 21,000 civilian dead. Severodonetsk, a city in the eastern region of Luhansk that has become the focus of Russia's offensive, has seen roughly 1,500 casualties, according to the mayor. Such estimates comprise both those killed by Russian strikes or troops and those who succumbed to secondary effects such as hunger and sickness as food supplies and health services collapsed. Zelensky said this week that 60 to 100 Ukrainian soldiers are dying in combat every day, with about 500 more wounded. Russia's last publicly released figures for its own forces came March 25, more than 2 months ago, when a general told state media that 351 soldiers had been killed and 825 wounded.